We're ready? Ready? Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to call to order the closed session meeting on Monday, March 16th at 5:31 p.m. Mr. Domer, roll call, please.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Councilmember Crosby.
Here.
Councilmember Johnson.
Present.
Councilmember Lau.
Present.
Mayor Pro Tem Cashapagita.
Present.
And Mayor Hepburn.
Here.
All present, sir.
The City Council will meet in closed session for the following. City Attorney Hall Barlow, please read the closed session items for the record and let us know if there will be any report out afterwards.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor and members of the council. We have conference with labor negotiators pursuant to Government Code Section 54957.6. I love the little dingle dingle. Negotiators are the city manager, assistant city manager, and city attorney. Employee organizations, Laverne City Employees Association, Laverne Firefighters Association, Laverne Fire Middle Management Association, Laverne Police Middle Management Association, and all unrepresented employees. We also have conference with real property negotiators pursuant to California Government Code Section 54956.8. Property is APN 8378-015-009, approximately 30,657 square feet. Negotiators are Arrow White Corner LLC and Ken Domer, city manager, under negotiation price and terms of payment. I do not expect any reporting out this evening.
Thank you, Attorney Barlow. Council, do you have any comments? We're going to open up public comment. Do we have anybody on us who would like to speak on this item? Seeing none, we'll close public comment. Bring out the dais. Any comments before we go into closed session? At this time, thank you. At this time, 5:33 p.m., we will recess into closed session and reconvene at 6:30 p.m. at regular city council meeting. Good evening, everybody. I like that. We're going to get started here in just a second. We need a girls' water polo. Congratulations. Yeah. Got to kick it off right.
That's right.
We are going to start this meeting at 6:34 p.m. on March 16th. And by the way, it's my wife's birthday tonight, and she is definitely not in the audience. So, because otherwise we'd be singing "Happy Birthday." But my wife, this is her birthday today. So, with that, and then she can't yell at me now. So. I want to remind everybody that per the city's rules of decorum, all speakers, members of the audience, and council members are to conduct themselves with decorum and not to engage in the conduct that interrupts the orderly conduct of the city council meeting. Also, public comment through Zoom may be accepted for the agenda items listed within the consent calendar, public hearing, and discussion calendar sections of the agenda. General public comments will be accepted at the meeting by those physically in attendance at the appropriate time. Tonight, we are very pleased to have Air Force Technical Sergeant E6 Ronald Lewis to lead the Pledge of Allegiance. Ronald, please come forward.
Ladies and gentlemen, all military veterans, active duty members, and first responders will do a military salute. All those will place their hand over your heart. And repeat after me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You could stay there, please.
Sure. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Sergeant Lewis, how you doing?
Good, sir.
Appreciate you. I'm gonna get right back to you. I'm gonna get right back to you. They got me. What a great day! What a great day!
Nice night.
You know what? Thank you, Jr. Where is he? Let me tell you. It's tomorrow, St. Patty's Day. You guys ready for that? Yeah, great time. Well, we celebrate that, and we also celebrate every single city council meeting with a veteran to open up our Pledge of Allegiance. As a veteran and myself, and I still serve, it is with great honor that I continue to have this. And I thank the council for allowing me to do this in our city here, to open up our city council with a Pledge of Allegiance from an amazing veteran. Today, we have Tech Sergeant Ronald Lewis. The Tech Sergeant rank is for the Air Force, but I'm going to let our amazing Sergeant Lewis tell us a little bit about himself. We'd like to know what your MOS is, and give us your favorite time in the good old Air Force, by the way. Your score was a lot higher than mine because you went to the Air Force. Some say Army.
I started in the Navy.
Oh, okay. I don't know.
So just to let you folks know, I wound up doing over 20 plus years overall in the military, but I started with the Navy and with the Air Force, and I was an merchant marine within all that. So to give you a quick rundown, in some high schools you would have a JROTC. Well, my high school, which is Rosemary High School, we didn't have anything like that. So I wound up doing the Sea Cadets, which taught me a lot about the Navy. So I would end up enlisting in 1986. Did 5.5 years active. Now, in that time, I saw a lot of things. Exxon Valdez, we were there for that. We were off of Korea for Tiananmen Square. That was in the fall of '89.
I just turned 50.
Okay, I'm 59.
So, like, what is I saw the history book. Don't worry about it.
He's not looking at me. I'm the oldest one in the crowd.
Go ahead, sorry.
So after that, we would do Desert Shield, Desert Storm. I was there for that. On the way back, one of my favorite stories I always tell people is while we were sitting in the Gulf, there was a typhoon, well, cyclone they call them, that hit a place called Chittagong, Bangladesh. So if you look at the almanac, the confirmed dead was 179,000 dead. Now, my battle group, we're an amphibious assault group, we were tasked to go there and stabilize the region for the International Red Cross. So it was a humanitarian aid mission. And we got the humanitarian medal for that. So that's one of the things I'm more proud of.
God bless.
So,
City of Laverne Certificate of Recognition presented to Ronald Lewis. The certificate presented on behalf of the Laverne City Council to Air Force Tech Sergeant Ronald Lewis with sincere gratitude and appreciation for your dedicated service to our country. God bless you, sir, and your family.
thank you.
My brother.
Thank you, sir.
Always get, you know, he always keeps one for himself. Snooze, you lose. Roll call, Mr. Domer.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Councilmember Crosby.
Present.
Councilmember Johnson.
Present.
Councilmember Lau.
Present.
Mayor Pro Tem Casavigita.
Present.
And Mayor Hepburn.
Present.
All present, sir.
Tonight we have several presentations. First is the Benita High School's girls water polo team. One more round of applause. He had an extremely successful season. I like to see him get up and down. He just had a sandwich. He needs to wear it off. The team finished the 2026 season with an overall record of 26-6 and were the undefeated league champions in the Palomares League. The team advanced to the CIF playoffs where they had the number 3 seed, and after 4 rounds of play, BHS girls water polo fell 16-15. Man, that's close, guys, and that's a big score. That's huge. In overtime to the eventual Division II champion, Lacerna High School, in the semifinal game. The team was coached by Dylan Unsold and assisted by John Ashby and Cody Lahotsky. Coach Dylan, please come forward.
Coach Dylan, we have every fall, spring. And so it's just amazing seeing Dylan up here all the time.
Should. Okay, so I'm going to call some of the athletes up to come and receive your certificate, and then after you guys do so, just hang out up here for pictures. Thank you, Council, for having us, by the way. So first athlete that I'm going to call up here is Eva Hankey. Mackenzie Allred. Natalie Rosen. Maddie Rosen. Charlotte Cruz. Roxanne Jimenez. Ava Wu. Giselle Rapa. Sophia Quezada. Kennedy O'Connell. Viviana Velasquez. Charlotte Schofield. And Isla Romero. Girls, if you want to come over here, they're going to take the picture here so we can kind of get close. Thank you again, Council, for recognizing the team tonight.
Make sure they get that. They'll say, I took.
Two Rose girls. The council, do you want to take a picture with us as well? One more picture.
You know, it's obviously the athletes that are out there with the coaching, but it's really the parents that push them out there and help them along to make sure they have a bad day. We're not sure, I don't know if I'm going to do well. It's like, get out there and do your best. And that's what we aspire for. We have a great school system. We have great coaching, but we really have great parents. So a round of applause for the parents. Thank you. Okay. I know you guys really want to stay. I'm going to give you a 3-minute break so you guys can get out here and go to In-N-Out and get some food. So go. Thank you guys very much. Thank you. Thank you guys. Enjoy.
Are you embarrassing your son?
Absolutely.
I'm sending it to him.
You're welcome. Anytime. Take care.
Cash, you ready? You sure? You want more pictures? Okay, we know. Our next presentation item is the Red Cross Month proclamation. The American Red Cross Month recognizes that everyday heroes who support their communities. The San Gabriel Valley Pomona chapter of American Red Cross has provided essential aid during natural disasters, providing meals, overnight shelter, comfort, kits, and recovery assistance through local resource centers and more. Will Omar from the Red Cross Board of the SGV Pomona chapter please come forward? Thank you. Put my eyes on. Oh, no, you're not done.
Don't try to dip out on us. No. I've been here last year.
What's your address? We're all coming to dinner after this. Didn't you know that? They didn't tell you that?
Make it quick.
I hope you got a lot of food. That's all I got to say. Well, welcome and congratulations. City of Laverne proclamation. Whereas the American Red Cross is known for the compassionate humanitarian service, assisting communities across the nation through disaster relief, emergency preparedness, and life-saving programs. And whereas founded in 1881 by Clara Barton, the organization continues its mission to prevent and alleviate human suffering in the face of emergencies by mobilizing the power of volunteers and the generosity of donors. And whereas the American Red Cross supports individuals and families affected by disasters such as fires, floods, and other emergencies by providing shelter, food, comfort, and recovery assistance. Whereas its dedicated volunteers and staff, the American Red Cross provides critical services, including blood collection, health and safety training, support for military members and their families, and preparedness education that strengthens community resilience. And whereas the volunteers and supporters of the American Red Cross embody the spirit of compassion, generosity, and civic responsibility, making a meaningful difference in the lives of those in need. And whereas the American Red Cross San Gabriel Pomona Valley chapter serves more than 1.8 million residents across 44 communities throughout the San Gabriel and Pomona Valleys, providing vital services such as disaster preparedness and response, health and safety training, blood drives, and support for members of the armed forces and their families. Now be it proclaimed by the City of Laverne that the month of March 2026 be recognized as Red Cross Month and encourages all residents in honor to the vital work of the American Red Cross and recognize the dedication of its volunteers, donors, and supporters who help strengthen and protect communities both locally and across the nation, dated the 16th day of March 2026. Congratulations.
Would you like to? Absolutely.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Council. And on behalf of the Red Cross, we really appreciate this recognition. Our mission is simple. Be there when it matters the most. And we won't be able to do it without the support of communities like yours. So thank you. Thank you for this recognition.
Thank you for all you do. This is a fun-packed night, guys. We got a lot of great stuff here. Our next presentation is recognition and presentation of the Pride of Laverne Awards. Oh, my glasses. How come the lettering gets smaller and smaller? Whoa. Annually, the City Council presents the Jack Huntington Award and the Jim Scranton Award to recognize volunteers who have made outstanding contributions and performed exemplary service to the city and the community. Each recipient receives an individual Pride of Laverne plaque, and their names are placed on perpetual plaques displayed in City Hall. The Jack Huntington Award was named after S. Jack Huntington, who moved to Laverne in 1970. Despite heavy professional obligations and time commitments to the U.S. Naval Reserve, Jack became actively involved in the community as a volunteer. He was active in various local organizations, including the Laverne JCs, Little League, and the Youth Basketball Program. Jack also served as a City of Laverne Commissioner for more than 15 years, completing 2 terms for the Parks and Recreation Commission, as well as 2 terms on the Planning Commission. Jack Huntington was a citizen volunteer who exemplified the Pride of Laverne through selfless service to the community. This year, the City Council has nominated Raymond Swain. Come on up, Raymond. Raymond Swain has been a dedicated member of the City of Laverne community since moving to the city in 1989. Over the years, he has generously contributed his time and leadership to numerous local and regional organizations. Raymond volunteered for 4 years with the Boy Scouts of America Troop 411, attending weekly meetings and participating in overnight camping trips to support youth development. He also spent 3 years as a parent volunteer with the Laverne Little League, regularly attending games and workouts while assisting coaches and encouraging youth athletes. For 6 years, Raymond was active with the International Toastmasters, serving as both club president and area governor, where he helped members achieve their communication goals and supported clubs in reaching their membership and growth objectives. In addition, he served as chairman of the city's ad hoc water and sewer rate study committee, providing valuable input on key community issues. He also served in the city's local hazard mitigation plan steering committee, providing input on the city's update to its local hazard mitigation plan. He's also dedicated hundreds of hours leading the effort to establish Laverne's first Firewise community, which I happen to be part of. And I did get a discount on my insurance. Thank you, sir. Appreciate that. Helping neighbors reduce wildfire risk and strengthen local preparedness. A frequent attendee of city council meetings, Raymond continues to demonstrate a strong commitment to civic engagement and the well-being of the Laverne community. Congratulations, Raymond.
Thank you. Well, my thanks very much to the City Council for this honor. Very prestigious. I appreciate it. And although my name's the name on the plaque, it takes a lot of people to support somebody to be able to do the things that I do, support the hours. But you need teamwork to make all these things work. And for the last one that he talked about, the Firewise, couldn't have done it without the fire department here, the Laverne Fire Department with Lonnie and Chief and Fred. Great supporters in our community meetings and our community efforts. So again, thank you very much. But my number one supporter, got to talk about that one. So for over 50 years now, my wife Diane. I love you, babe.
Thank you, Raymond. Thank you, Diane. Wait, you come in. Diane, come on up here. Come on. She needs more than a plaque. Come on, stay in it. Oh, you want to? Oh, you're going to do it private. Gotcha. Private. Guys? Yeah, notice we like photos. Okay.
Thank you. Yeah.
What did I do?
Okay, I'll get it over to you. Our next award is the Jim Scranton Award. It was named after longtime resident Jim Scranton, who was a member of the Youth Sports Committee since its inception. In 1986, he formed the Laverne Laser Soccer Club organization, which provides youngsters an opportunity to play soccer at a highly competitive level. Jim also spent 5 years on the city's Sports Park Committee, which resulted in the development of 35 amazing acres of sports fields for the community. He also participated in the city's women's soccer program as a coach. Jim is survived by his wife, Susan. Fortunately, Susan just passed away literally a few weeks ago, so may she rest in peace. And he's got actually his wife, and they have 2 daughters and a son. One of them is actually one of our police officers in the city of Laverne, so we're very proud of them. The Youth Sports Committee recommended that a Pride of Laverne Youth Sports Volunteer Award be named in honor of Jim Scranton. This year's award recipient is Ray Ortiz. Come on up, sir. Woo!
Oh, no, you're in the middle.
Gonna sandwich him. Look at these. I'm praying to you. Praying. What are you praying to the Ray God? We're just proud to. Hey, come on. It's wonderful. Yeah. Pink shirts and bow ties. What the heck, you know? Ray has been in the region for over 25 years. You're only 32. Man, oh man. On the board for over 10 years, he has coached players in ASO from their earliest days, 6U, to their last days, 19U. He has been a positive influence on many players that have come through the region, and today can be found helping our referees perform their duties. In the last 3 years, he has been our referee administrator and has worked tirelessly to bring volunteer referees out in the fields. He has performed the necessary training and mentoring with them so that they could be confident in their duties and enjoy their time on the field. In the past year alone, Ray has invested his time and effort to help over a dozen referees achieve their intermediate and advanced referee badge levels. That's nothing to sneeze at. That's amazing. That's very amazing. Round of applause for this man. These badge levels allow the referees to officiate with more confidence in their older age groups. Ray was also involved in bringing back the Great Western Shootout. Thank goodness. That is fantastic. I love that. This past year. Congratulations, Ray. Well, you want to say a few words, sir?
You gave me the mic.
I have the switch to turn it off, so don't worry.
All right. No, really, when I moved here back in '89, and this city, still a beautiful city, gave a lot to my children. So my 5 children went through the soccer program, many soccer programs here in Laverne, and it was my turn to give back to the city of Laverne. And to continue that going forward, I just thought, all right, I'm back in soccer, and I'm going to keep teaching the kids and coaching, got more in coaching. And then the parents were there, and I said, parents, let's go. And then refereeing, and it's just been a blast. The city's been great. My supporters, number 1 supporters, otherwise I wouldn't have been able to do this. My wife, Natalie, right here. My son, Nicholas. My mom, Patsy. The regional commissioner here, back in the corner, his spouse. And I'd like to ask all the referees to stand up in this room. Referees.
There we go.
There's 2 more. 2 more. Thank you all. This is why we do what we do, and it's wonderful to give back and get more parents and more young referees involved.
Guys, come on up. We want you in the photo, all of you. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. You have my phone? You got my phone. I'll let you take a picture. Please. Everybody.
I'm right here between bow tie and no tie.
Round of applause.
My name is Timmy. Mr. Mayor,
Yes, sir.
if I can just personally thank Ray and Natalie too. They, as you said, coaching 6U to 19U. My family, my daughter, he did that. Their family did that, teaching them when they were 6U and when she was in the co-ed 19U team too. So thank you so much for not only giving back to Laverne, but giving back to my family too personally. So I appreciate you.
Thank you. You guys don't have to stay. Go. You can if you want, but we got Hillcrest to deal with. We got to be careful. Might get rough in here. They brought. We have to hurry up because Hillcrest closes at 8, so we got to make this quick. We're going to have to escort up a police down B Street. Thank you, guys. Congratulations. That's when you went to. We'll now move on to announcements of upcoming community events. And this is not on the agenda on the public comments. This is only on upcoming events that are happening in the community. Adrian, come on up.
Yeah.
Good evening, Mayor, council members, and staff. I'd like to introduce a few events that will be taking place at Laverne Library. Beginning this month, LA County Library began our One Book, One Coast event, which brings together 140 libraries and library systems from California, Oregon, and Washington State to share in the reading of one book. The book that was chosen is a memoir written by in graphic novel format by actor George Takei. The novel recounts his childhood experience in a Japanese-American internment camp. The novel is titled They Called Us Enemy and is available for checkout at all LA County Library locations. And beginning in April, the book will be available in electronic format in our library app. And from April through June, libraries will be holding activities that observe the topic of George Takei's novel. Please visit lacountylibrary.org for more details. And on March 20th at 11 a.m., we'll hold an interactive musical program for toddlers. The program will be performed by children's author and musician Ashley Mills, who will perform several fun stories and songs that encourage toddlers to participate. And on Saturday, March 28th at 3:30, we'll be holding a drone program for teens ages 13 to 17. During this program, teens will be given an introduction on drone safety and FAA regulations. Afterwards, teens will be given a chance to get hands-on experience with drone piloting and fly a drone through an obstacle course. Okay. All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Adrian. Appreciate that. Any other announcements? We'll close announcements. Any announcements at the dais? With that, Mr. City Manager, he left.
I'm not aware of anything.
Is it something
that
I
was
said?
pulled. No.
Well, thank you for sharing your announcements. So we'll move on to the consent calendar. All items on the consent calendar are routine and will be enacted by one motion unless a member of the City Council or member of the audience requests separate discussion or just wants to make a statement on one of the items. Council, any requests to pull any items? None. Mr. City Manager, other than amending the minutes for the last meeting to add names for the presentation items, which the Council has an updated page of the record, I will read the updated. It was the updated Irish proclamation below. Council presented the proclamation to Richard Bowen from LVC3, who then took a moment to remember LVC3 member Lois Jo Wetton, who passed away recently. LV3C members present were Kathy Newland, Cynthia Tyner, and family members to Jo Wetton, Aaron Vanderveer, which was Joe's daughter, and John Vanderveer, Aaron's husband. So that's corrected in the amendments. With that, do I have a motion approval of the consent calendar?
Motion.
Second?
Second.
Vote, please.
Motion to approve the consent calendar by Cashel Fagita, seconded by Johnson. Approve 5-0.
Thank you. Tonight, there's one public hearing item. Wait, is this spelled right? The Brethren Hillcrest Gateway Project. Oh, yeah, that's why you're here tonight. General Plan Amendment, Zone Change, and Mitigated Negative Declaration. I'd like to open up the public hearing and ask the City Manager, please call forward the staff member who will be reporting on this.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'd like to call up Candace Wilcock, the principal planner.
The principal planner.
Principal
The
planner.
principal planner. The. Finally.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor and members of the City Council. As Mr. Domar said, I'll be presenting the Brethren Hillcrest Gateway Project, which includes the case numbers that are listed here on the screen. This project involves a set of entitlements to expand the formally integrate several properties into the Hillcrest Continuing Care Retirement Community. Brethren Hillcrest Homes has operated in Laverne since 1947 as a nonprofit continuing care retirement community. The campus provides independent living, assisted living, memory care, and skilled nursing services, allowing residents to age in place with one cohesive community. Over the years, Hillcrest has strategically expanded, and the Gateway Project continues that thoughtful growth of improving connectivity between the east and the west campuses. As shown on the screen, the project includes several components, including a precise plan review, contingent approval by the Development Review Committee, involves the design and architecture of the project, 2 parcel mergers, contingent approval by the Development Review Committee, merging the lots together, a master plan amendment, contingent approval by the Planning Commission, including the parcels into the Hillcrest Master Plan, a general plan amendment, which is for your consideration tonight, and a zone change that is also for your consideration tonight. This slide identifies the 4 primary areas involved in the project, and I'll be referring to these sites by these names throughout the presentation. First is the North Gateway site, the South Gateway site, the zone change site, and the master plan change site, which is everything outlined in the red. The North and South Gateway sites are where the physical redevelopment will occur. The zone change site and the master plan change site do not involve new construction, but rather bring the properties into consistency with Hillcrest's existing institutional zoning and master plan. The North and South Gateway sites currently contain 7 residential homes. Under the proposal, 4 homes would be demolished, 7 new single-family homes will be constructed, and 3 existing homes will remain and be renovated. Upon completion, the sites will contain 10 homes, resulting in a net increase of 3 units in total. These homes will operate as independent living residences within the continuing care retirement community. This side reflects the proposed general plan amendment area in red. The north and south gateway sites are currently designated low-density residential, which allows 0 to 5 dwelling units per acre. The project proposes changing the designation to community facility, which is consistent with the existing general plan designation for the rest of the Hillcrest campus. The zone change proposes rezoning the north and south gateway sites and the zone change site from PR 4.5D to institutional. This aligns zoning with the proposed community facility general plan designation and brings these parcels into consistency with the rest of the Hillcrest campus. The zone change site has been owned and operated by Hillcrest since 1998, but was never formally rezoned, so this action just corrects that inconsistency. The master plan amendment was conditionally approved by the Planning Commission, contingent upon approval of the related entitlements tonight. This slide shows the existing Hillcrest master plan neighborhoods on the left and the proposed changes on the right. The master plan amendment would incorporate the gateway sites and the zone change site into neighborhood 5 and redesignate approximately 0.95 acres from neighborhood 10 to neighborhood 5. Neighborhood 5 primarily consists of independent living homes, while neighborhood 10 focuses more on administrative and activity uses. This amendment ensures internal consistency within the campus and aligns the development patterns more appropriately. The parcel mergers were also conditionally approved by the Development Review Committee, contingent upon approval of the related entitlements. For the North Gateway site, 3 parcels, which you can see here, were merged into one. And for the zone change site, these 3 parcels were merged with the adjacent Hillcrest-owned parcels to create one unified lot. The precise plan review addresses the site layout, architecture, landscaping, and circulation, also contingent upon approval of the Development Review Committee. The homes are designated in designed in a contemporary craftsman style with varied roofs, stone veneer accents, and earth tone palettes. Each home includes a 2-car garage, approximately 2,100 square feet of living space, private patios, and landscaping. The project also includes new sidewalks, curbs, and gutter improvements, driveway reconstruction, and public paseos to improve connectivity between the east and west campuses. This is the South Gateway site. This is some of the elevations, very similar to the Hawthorne project down the street. You're familiar with that. The project was evaluated through an initial study and mitigated negative declaration prepared by LSA. The document was circulated for public review from November 3rd to November 24th of 2025. Potential impacts were identified in areas including biological resources, cultural resources, paleontological resources, vibration, tribal cultural resources. Mitigation measures have been incorporated to reduce impacts to less than significant levels. Revisions were made in response to the county comment letter, but no new impacts were identified, so recirculation was not required. The project sites are surrounded primarily by residential uses. None of the homes proposed for demolition qualify as being historically significant. The architecture, design, setbacks, height limits, lot coverage, and landscaping will comply with the Hillcrest Master Plan and the Laverne Municipal Code. Staff finds that if the project is approved, it will be consistent with the general plan and compatible with the surrounding development. A neighborhood workshop was held in December of 2024. A few residents did attend that meeting and no concerns were raised. Public hearing notices were properly mailed and published in accordance with state law. Staff and the Development Review Committee and the Planning Commission recommend that the City Council first adopt the resolution to adopt an initial study, mitigated negative declaration, and a mitigation monitoring and reporting program. Second, adopt the resolution approving case number 113-25 GPA to amend the general plan designation of the Hillcrest sites from low-density residential to community facility. And lastly, adopt an ordinance approving case number 114-25 ZC to change the zone designation of the Hillcrest sites mentioned from PR 4.5D to institutional. That concludes my presentation. I am available from staff if you have any questions. LSA is also available here if you have any questions of the environmental document, and the applicant is also here, and many residents if you have questions of them.
Is that who they are?
Yes.
Thank you, Principal Planner Bullock. Any comments before we go to public comment from the council for staff? We're going to go and open up public comment. Would anybody wish to speak on this item? Please come to the mic, just state your name. No? Sure, please, come on up.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor and members of the council. My name is Christine Carrasco, and I serve as the Director of Project Management for Hillcrest. I've had the privilege of working for Hillcrest for over 14 years, and since Mike Townsend's retirement, I've been leading the Gateway project through the planning and entitlement process with help of our project team. First, I'd like to thank the city staff for their guidance, collaboration, and their thoughtfulness throughout this process. I truly appreciate the time and care that went into reviewing the project and preparing the staff report. And we're mostly grateful for the Planning Commission's unanimous recommendation and their very positive feedback. It was great to hear how supportive the Planning Commission was of this project. Gateway's project represents an important investment in the future of Hillcrest. I don't like this mic. Sorry. I'm loud already.
You're
I don't think I need it. The project will bring 7 new homes to the site, while 3 existing homes will remain and receive exterior updates so they match the character and design of the new Gateway homes. Our project team includes Dan Townsend, who serves as our Hillcrest's Director of Facilities Ops, Eric Peterson, who is our architect, and we have contracted with, as a construction consultant, not the general on the project, John Paddock from Verne Construction, who has worked with Hillcrest on projects since 2012. Together, we've been working closely to ensure the project moves forward thoughtfully and responsibly. Hillcrest has been part of the Verne community for many decades, and we're proud to continue investing in a place that so many residents, as you see here, call home. We look forward to moving into the next phase and bringing this project to life for the Hillcrest community. Thank you for your time this evening, and we appreciate your consideration.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Any other public? Oh, Mr. Neely, come on up.
I want to echo the thanks to staff. Candace has done a great job. Each member of your team has done an incredible job for us. But I just wanted to say today, we have all these residents here, so excited to hear your vote.
Are they moving into the new building? That's why they're here. They're
could
taking their
be.
space
They
now.
could be.
You must approve this tonight. Is that what you're saying?
Actually, I wanted to just share that, one of Hillcrest's founders was Ross Hannawalt, and he served for years on the city council. And so did your father. And so many people who have served on the city council have been a part of Hillcrest. And you are a part of Hillcrest because you're assisting us to grow. And I would just like to share this perspective. Hillcrest employs 270 employees. Where do you think they eat? Where do you think they shop? Many live right in the city, and those who don't are providing services. We have 380 residents. When their families come, where do they go? They are in Verne. We are part of the city. And everything that you do to support us, you're supporting families. And I want to just thank you as City Council, staff, for doing what we cannot do without your help. So on behalf of Hillcrest, thank you so much.
Thank you, Matthew. Appreciate those comments. Thank you. Mr. Stanley.
Mr. Mayor, Council, thanks for hearing me. My name is Dale Stanley. I moved to Laverne in 1955 when I was 3 years old. I attended elementary school at Laverne Primary and Grace Miller School with teachers named Mrs. Deal, Mrs. Gonzalez, Mr. Castellano. Graduated from Bonita High School in 1970. I graduated from the University of Laverne in 1976, ULV. I've lived in 10 houses in Laverne. including the first one we bought on Maplewood Street. And my wife and I, my work took us away from Laverne for 25 years. Recently moved back because we wanted to join our good friends and our family in Laverne. And we've been residents for the last 2 years. And I've been on the Hillcrest Board of Directors for 6 years, and I was chairman of the board for the last 4 years. For the past 80 years, Hillcrest has served Laverne first by purchasing a stinky chicken farm, and now has, as Matthew said, 184 homes, 59 skilled nursing beds, 29 spaces for memory care, and Hillcrest not only provides housing, but a supportive community of 300-something residents, and 32 cats and 33 dogs, by the way. Hillcrest contributes to the economy of Laverne, as Matthew mentioned, by providing employment for the 280-plus employees. It opens its facilities and auditorium and programs for the community on a nearly daily basis. Hillcrest continues to add to and be integrated with the community of Laverne in its park-like campus that you're aware of, and the recent acquisition of the adjacent properties that were mentioned in the presentation was gracefully executed by Mr. Neely and the rest of the staff. And Hillcrest has this stellar track record of acquisition of the most recent award-winning Department of Hawthorne development as well. Hillcrest, under Matthew's leadership, and our current board of directors is committed to a sustainable institution to improve the lives of older people in perpetuity. We are not a corporation that has an end game here. We intend to be here forever and be a part of this community just as you are. So the good and the noble intentions of Hillcrest, the gateway projects, and the people behind them are something I really support. I love Laverne. Laverne formed me, and now Laverne, together with Hillcrest, is sustaining me and my wife here in Laverne. And will, with your approval, to approve to sustain the next generations of Hillcrest citizens as well. And I urge approval of the Gateway project.
Thank you, Mr. Stanley. Appreciate it. Any other comments on this item? We'll go ahead and close public comment and bring it back up to the dais. Mr. Crosby?
It's just a wonderment, really.
You want to go through the CEQA again?
No.
Oh, just
no.
checking.
On the proposed map, you have a little section that is not identified as any rezoning. Is that because that's property not owned by Hillcrest?
Probably.
It just
Not yet.
It just stood out.
Yet. It's not yet.
Yeah. On the proposed, you have that right under number 5, that
Yes.
white box.
Yes. There's a resident.
There's a residence
Two.
there?
Two.
Two? And
houses.
they were invited to be for these hearings as well?
Yes, I believe some of them attended the neighborhood workshop.
Good.
They all know. Thank you. Mr. Johnson.
Having served on the Hillcrest board for a number of years, I do appreciate everything Hillcrest has done for our community. You have a beautiful pool. I try to use it with getting my mother swimming at the same time. It's just a remarkable place to live.
Thank you, Mr. Johnson. Councilmember Lau.
I think it's a beautiful addition to the community, and I can't wait for when I can move in. I'm close.
You're not that close.
Getting closer.
I'm already there, double fold. Mayor Pro Tem Pesho Kashavagita.
Thank you, Mayor. I've been to Hillcrest several times, and it is a model place should be throughout the entire state of California. And I've been everywhere up and down the state. It is clean, it is safe, and it is and the housing there is just immaculate. So, plus the food is really good. The food is phenomenal. So, God bless you.
It's all about the food.
All about the food.
All about
I
food.
love the food, as you can see. But
you're laughing out there, but it's all about the food.
Yeah,
Come
the
on,
food
let's
is
be honest
good.
here.
The food is
Who
good.
wants to cook when you get to a certain age? It's like, go with the house.
And God bless the ladies that cook there. I know two of them there. One passed, and one is she retired after many 40 years there. But it's a great place to be, and I look forward to continuing to visit Hillcrest and just saying hello and listening to what our amazing citizens that live there have any issues, comments, or concerns. Blame Tim, not me. And we'd love to hear from you guys more. So God bless you all, and look forward to the future.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem Cash. Again, as Councilmember Johnson had mentioned, I was also on the Hillcrest board at a time when it was a trying time for Hillcrest. It was the precipice of failure, I guess I should say, and amazing people from Hillcrest outside the community, Hillcrest residents that I would say you pull them up by the bootstraps and made some changes to make it extremely successful. And as Mr. Stanley stated, he's been the chair for the last 4 years. It takes leadership. It takes people from the community. It takes a lot of people. It takes a village to make it happen. And I will also say that Hillcrest is part of the fabric of Laverne. So we do appreciate that. It is an open campus. You can get in there and out of there. It's really easy. It's everybody's friendly. I like the fact that you have lots of cats and dogs. And I'm glad it wasn't called the Stinky Chicken Farm. And Hillcrest is a much better sounding name than Stinky Chicken Farm. So I just also, if anyone, you want to see a wonderful project, you look at the Hawthorne project, and it turned out very well. And again, thank you to our staff. I know it's a lot of money, it's a lot of time, but there's a process we have to go through. And I think that this new development is going to be amazing. I think it's tying everything together in Hillcrest and making it the community that it needs to be, and everything put together in a proper fashion, and that's what a master plan is. So with that, very happy about this. It's going to be beautiful, and these homes are beautiful. They are beautiful. And like you say, you can live in there easily, and it's a wonderful place to live. And yes, it's a wonderful place to eat too.
Yeah, I've heard about the cocktails at 5 on the balcony, so I want to go. I know.
They're really good. Wine has come to the campus a number of years ago, and beer, and maybe some mixed drinks, and let's face it, it makes it up for a nice evening with a glass of wine in that beautiful setting in Hillcrest, right in the middle of our beautiful town. So with that, with no other comments, Mr. Domer, will you read the recommendations to be voted on?
Sure. You can.
Or would you like me to read those, Mr. Domer?
Well, you
I
can,
think all we're going to do
move
is
the staff recommendation, but read the title of the ordinance contained in number 3.
Let's do that. We're going to recommend and move the staff ordinance, and then on item number 3, an ordinance of the City Council of the City of Laverne, California, approving case number 114-25ZC, a request by Hillcrest Homes to change the zone designation from PR4.5D to institutional for the sites located at AIN 8381-010-028. That's a lot. AIN 8381-010-033. AIN number 8381-010-006. And AIN 8381-012-013. Did I do that correct, Mr. Attorney? With that, do I have a motion? Do I have a second? Second. Vote, please.
Item 6 is staff recommended. Motion by Johnson, seconded by Lau, and approved 5-0.
Thank you very much. Thank you, all of you. Hillcrest will be closing in 25 minutes. No. It takes 4 minutes to get to Hillcrest, so you've got roughly 15 minutes. So thank you all. Appreciate it. Thank you. Oh, picture.
Picture.
Sure. Yes, we'll stand in front. That's great.
Oh, we can all come in the middle. Stand up here.
It's not official. There we go. Okay, guys, you don't have to stay. Here we go. 5 minute reset. Oh, Where's Cash? Is he drinking?
No, I think he's eating.
We don't need him, do we? I can find out where I am. Okay, tonight there are 2 items on the discussion calendar. First is the adoption of the 2026 Parks and Recreation Master Plan update and finding of exemption from environmental review. City Manager Domer, please. Well, I like this. City Manager Domer, please. City Manager Domer, you please call forward the staff member who will be reporting.
I'd like to call forward Nicole Houston from our Public Works Department, who will start this presentation.
Hey, Nicole. Good evening.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Tonight, the City Council will consider adoption of the 2026 Parks and Recreation Master Plan, a long-range policy document guiding park improvements, recreation services, and sustainability planning for Laverne over the next 20 years, replacing the city's previous 2006 master plan. To develop the updated plan, the city retained KTUA, a nationally recognized planning and landscape architecture consulting firm, alongside subconsultants 110%, RRC Associates, and Pros Consulting. The project kicked off in January 2025 and was coordinated between the Parks and Recreation and Public Works departments. Notably, the master plan was funded through a Los Angeles County Regional Park and Open Space District Measure A grant at no additional cost to the city's general fund. Here to present the planning process, community engagement results, and key findings is Jacob Leone, lead of the project team for KTUA.
Okay.
All righty. Good evening. Thank you so much for welcoming me back again into your home. Mayor, council members, thank you. I know we all saw each other spring of last year when I was going over a big update to the planning process, and I'm here today to give you all a very abridged version of everything else we did since the last time we met. And I want to keep the positive energy and momentum going, and hopefully we have a good Q&A and a recommendation to adopt this really important master plan for you all. So as Nicole was mentioning, this was a group effort between the two departments and our partners here. So I just want to give a shout out to everybody. And of course, LA County Measure A, who helped fund this project. I hope you all had a chance to skim through or read the master plan itself, but I really want to say that it really is a culmination of 13, 14 months of work that we have done here in your community together alongside the two departments. I, Jacob, along with the rest of my team at K2A, we had a really great time getting to know the community, analyze your parks, understand your recreation department, speak with maintenance, understand public works to really put a comprehensive but still high-level master planning effort that's going to serve you for the next 10, 15, 20 years. And so I really just want to remind the group here and anybody listening online about the vision, right? The vision to provide safe and well-designed, maintained parks, to make sure that there is a great diversity, broad range of programs and services that are offered by your departments. Really making sure that it's all rooted in integrity, and making sure that we're also thinking about the future trends, being innovative, but also not forgetting about the basic necessities when it comes to parks and recreation for your community. The master plan that you have is basically, like we mentioned, a culmination of these four major steps. We find ourselves in step number 4, having this conversation about the pre-final draft, and again, an adoption of that plan itself. But we were out here many times in the past 14 months, understanding, doing the existing conditions, doing all of the different community engagement, and then regrouping to present the draft ideas and recommendations in the fall of last year. I'm just going to quickly go through some of the existing conditions. Some of these you might recognize from that presentation that I provided you all last fall, but really just a quick shout out to understanding your 21 parks, the acres, the conditions that they're in, how they're distributed throughout your city, and honestly just how some great planning that has happened in the past decades, because it really made our job much easier when it came to this part of the master plan itself. You've all done a wonderful job over the past decades identifying where to place parks, how to maintain them, and try to make sure that there's geographic equity and accessibility from your residents' homes to the parks themselves. We went out to all the parks multiple times to understand their conditions, take plenty of pictures, and really try to identify those opportunities for future recommendations. This slide, I think you'll recognize. Again, I just want to remind the group of this. Pretty much A. If I were to grade yourselves as a report card, this is an A. Based on the parks that you have, the acreage, and the population of residents that live here, you're all doing wonderful. You are actually in a very minor surplus of park acreage right now. But with population changes, as your city continues to grow and change, we want to understand the future. And again, the orange table right there. Slight dip, but still absolutely wonderful. You're near zero, just showing that as you continue to improve your existing parks or add new, you're just going to continue being overachievers here in Southern California. So really, you should give yourselves, pat yourself on the back, because I've worked in projects all over California, Arizona, and Colorado, and this is one of the highest ranked when it comes to level of service. So really, great job to your predecessors for the work they've done for here in Laverne. Part of that analysis was understanding all of your amenities. There's a lot of tables and maps in Chapter 2 of the master plan itself. But again, it's trying to be data-driven when it comes to these master planning efforts. We took all the data from the visits. We graded all of the different amenities, like what condition they were in, to really round out this analysis in that chapter. We try to understand the coverage, which again, excellent coverage. You only have 3-4 little minor gaps in your existing network. Which, again, compared to other cities and relatively to you all, this is really wonderful news. You have excellent coverage when it comes to your parks. Now, that what I just talked about was like the infrastructure, the hard components of Parks and Recreation. This master planning effort, with our partners, 110%, we were able to take a look at your recreation services and programming and your the financial components of Parks and Recreation. So that part of the master plan is Chapter 3. Where we really try to highlight how the Parks and Recreation Department is doing currently and potential improvements for the future. So we looked at your program, your services. We try to benchmark Laverne against other Southern California communities and to see how well you're kind of stacking up against the types of programs that you're offering. We looked at as a team with your department, your revenues, your expenditures, and how that all balances out together to kind of get a snapshot of how the city's financially doing when it comes to parks and recreation and those improvements over the next 5-10 years. And then we did a really important exercise with your department about understanding what the common good versus individualized recreation services, trying to understand where hard-earned taxpayer money and how that's being fed into your department, and really trying to understand where those different revenues and services are applied. And so this is a really wonderful exercise that we did together as a group to really then start prioritizing for the future. We also then went to Public Works Department. And so again, multiple partners, multiple departments, really leading to a comprehensive master plan. But we also took a really high-level look at maintenance assessments and operations with all your parks, because we, as humans, we are, first impressions, right? How we see and view our parks, how they are clean, how they're doing, is really important to us. So we wanted to try to understand all of your park sites, understand the conditions of the different amenities and assets. We looked at the survey that we did and how people feel about maintenance when it comes to your parks. So we did we took a look at those things, and that's everything in Chapter 4 of the master plan, the maintenance and operations assessment. And so we had also some recommendations in there about some higher tier parks based on maintenance, preventative maintenance, that sort of thing. And then, of course, community engagement, this being a grant-based, grant-funded project, but as with any city project, community engagement is absolutely critical for all these things. So we did, I'm really just proud of your community and how they came out to support us and engage with us throughout the last year. We completed, at the end of the day, almost 800 surveys. We did 4 focus groups, we did 2 workshops, and we did 2 pop-up events. So we interacted with your community in multiple ways, and they're very open and friendly and forthcoming with their ideas about how to improve parks and recreation over the next 10, 15, 20 years. And so big shout out to your community for helping us out from that in that regard. And so, of course, we have plenty of pictures. I'm giving Nicole, Danny, and Yvonne hundreds of pictures from all the outreach that you can use in the future when you try to go after recommendations. But we have key findings in that community engagement chapter. That way you have something to point back to when something comes up. So all of that is nicely summarized in the engagement chapter of the master plan itself. And really, 5 of the key community values, key takeaways that drove some of the recommendations, just to name a few, right? Safety, affordability, accessibility, active lifestyles, family-oriented activities, some what feels obvious, right, values, but nice to know that those were rooted in everything we heard from your community through the engagement process. And lastly, I want to wrap up my presentation by going over very briefly those recommendations that you find in the report itself. And so everything's we start from the top, overarching initiatives. Think of these as your big policy type recommendations that are supported by objectives and actions. So there are some broad level components in that, but we also drill down pretty detailed with some recommended actions to help you achieve some of those initiatives. Your 3 initiatives, or your 3 pillars, as we often also call them, are enhancing your parking facilities, inclusive park access, and then lastly, community pride. And so that chapter, it's broken out. You could take a look and really see all the diversity recommendations that are all underneath these 3 initiatives that we developed. And so I don't know if you noticed, but we sprinkled in some of these drawings. So at all of our workshops, we always had an activity for kids and family members, and we had them draw their favorite activity out of parks. So we sprinkled them into the main report, but in the appendix of the master plan, we also scanned in all of the drawings. So again, just another reminder of how incredibly engaged your community was through this process. We also wanted to take a look at your existing parks and try to identify any potential areas of opportunities. Again, these are just flexible, high-level recommendations that your Public Works and your Parks and Recreation Department can consider when you want to add something new, a new amenity, like a new playground or a new basketball court, etc. So those are all found in that chapter as well. And lastly, we all know implementation is just as important, right? Implementation and an action plan is what's going to help you achieve some of these recommendations in the master plan. So we've provided a capital improvement plan tool. It's this large spreadsheet that has every park and all the different recommendations. There's a tier, a level of priority. We have where it came from, if it's going to have an impact on maintenance and operations, what objective it ties back into, and some typical planning level cost estimates. Again, trying to give you and your department, your staff, as many tools as possible to make informed decisions over the next years to come. So this is part of the master plan. It's a big nerdy spreadsheet, and so we'll leave that up to Public Works, to kind of handle that part. So we spared you that big spreadsheet for today's presentation. Don't worry. And then lastly, we keep an updated spreadsheet of funding opportunities throughout the federal, state, and regional areas. So we've also handed this over to both departments as a kind of like a checkbox, a tool. So as opportunities present themselves, they could refer to this and see if maybe one of your projects can be applicable and qualify for some of these grant opportunities that are out there. And then, of course, I'm here today to help answer any questions, and really hope that you recognize all the hard work that your community put into this, your staff, for this really important master plan. So again, I humbly thank you very much for having me here today, and thank you for letting me get to know your community throughout these last 14 months. Thank you all.
Thank you very much. And I did appreciate the picture. That was cute. After reading through a lot of information, it's always nice to see a little gold star in the middle of it with all those beautiful, cute pictures of the kids there. Well, thank you. We may call you up later. We're going to go to public comment first.
Of course.
So
thank you, Council.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Mm-hmm.
We're going to open up public comment on this item. Anyone wish to speak on public comment? Mr. Gary? I will say, and Bill and I, who's the previous community services director, now Parks and Recreation, I just want to say that, under your leadership, we added and retained our parks. And as the gentleman just stated, we do have more parks than many communities. And for overall, we're in very good condition. Obviously, we could always need new stuff. The neat thing about this, what he proposed is that many of the things that they were talking about are already done. So new equipment and things like that. But I just wanted to comment on your leadership. We retain the parks, we gain parks, and it really takes a lot to do that, because I know there's always people chipping at budgets and this and that, close a park that's not being used. But you managed to keep them all there under the administration and the councils that you worked under and the city staff you worked under. And thank you. We appreciate that.
You're very welcome.
He is owned. Yeah, you just can't leave it alone, can you?
Well, my report's done, so.
Hey, you know what? Who better to watch over it? Anyway,
well,
welcome,
you.
Bill.
I
Thank
appreciate that.
Thank you.
The Parks Commission had a special meeting on February 11th to discuss the Parks and Recreation Master Plan. And at that meeting, we had no public input because there was no public in the audience that night. And the commissioners took it upon themselves to discuss the plan. We had some slight revisions, but at the end of the night, they felt that it was a good plan and that it should help both the Parks and Recreation Department as well as the Public Works Department for the next 10 to 15 years. So we're all behind it. We wish well, and I look forward to the Parks and Recreation Commission doing a good job for the city.
Thank you, Bill.
Thank you.
It is a gem. We do have a gem here. Well, thank you, Bill. Anyone else wish to speak on this item?
Sure.
With that, we'll close public comment, bring it up the dais. Mayor Pro Tem Mesho Cash Figuita.
No, great work. Loves Parks and Rec. And looking forward to 10 more, 15, 20 more, however many years we need regarding this plan. Love our parks. Continue that growth. See our kids, so many other kids just go out there and have a great time and be safe, and families go out there and people are walking through these trails. And just kind of keeping it clean and safe is the only thing I could ever ask for. So thank you, Mayor. Thank you all that got involved.
Hey,
thank you, Yvonne, from Parks and Rec.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem Cash. Councilmember Lau.
No, I just wanted to say thank you to everybody who participated, from the residents to the staff to our consultants, for putting this together. This is a really comprehensive report and really outlines where we can be. I also appreciate the input on where we can seek funding, because obviously money doesn't grow on trees, if only, but it doesn't. So
Have you talked to my kids? Oh, wait.
I was like, apparently Tim's volunteering his tree.
Yeah, I guess I got a tree somewhere.
But I think this is a really good map for us to follow, a plan to follow. We may not be able to achieve everything, and we definitely won't be able to achieve everything all at once, but I love that this input is in here, and I love that other people also want a dog park, because so thank you.
Just get a cul-de-sac like I have. Yeah, Mr. Johnson.
I love everything that's in this. And I do appreciate our joint use agreements with the school district, because that provides a lot of fields that we otherwise have access to. I would like to see our events be as equitable as possible throughout the town. A lot of things north of Laverne, necessarily down to the parks. South Laverne, and that's probably because of the size of the. That's just my take on it.
Thank you, Mr. Johnson. Councilmember Crosby.
Thank you. And thank you, Mr. Gary, passing the torch to Ms. Duran, and her just taking off and really enhancing our parks. One part of the plan I really want to focus on is the master plan initiatives. Really appreciate that. The enhanced parks and facilities. One piece that I know you talked about a lot and moving forward, just want to put out there that one thing that maybe enhancing our parks. I know we have a workout gym about every other shop in Laverne, but I think open end in our parks, where especially for like in Coons Park, where we can have Hillcrest walking around the park and have little workout stations, or up in the northern part of the city as well, that would really enhance the people out and using being in the fresh air rather than inside a building and doing things there. The also part that you've done a lot in the last couple of years, which is dear to me, is the inclusivity part of our parks. And I know where it's written in our plan is a lot of access, but I want to what you did in Las Flores Park and the inclusive playground, if we can, when grants come up, continue that throughout our parks in Laverne as well. Those two pieces will really just enhance what we have. I know we have a bear area, those 3 or 4 bear areas in our eastern middle part. I know also there's a plan on the Lutheran High School, and that might be then turned into some park area, which will help out in that bear area too, in our middle eastern part of our city. So those are all plans in the future. The future looks really bright for the parks, and really appreciate your support and work, and your support in all this as well. And Yvonne, your continue looking out for our parks too. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Crosby. Basically, I have the same sentiments. That the fact is, I want to thank Nicole. I want to thank Yvonne. I know that we and our Danny Wu, our Public Works Director. It takes a team, and I have noticed personally that the parks are looking much better. Obviously, some of the parks are aging, and they do need some help, but this gives us a path. I appreciate our consultants. There's a lot of things we can do on a slim budget, replacing tables, things like that, when you get to the lighting and new basketball courts, things like that. But as Councilmember Crosby stated, access. Make sure that all of our community can visit these parks, because some of our parks, like Los Encinos Park, it's a little different. Access, parking, it's a little difficult. But that's one of those parks that I don't think most people even know about it, and it's massive. It's huge. One of our bigger parks, and it's down on the basically the south, west end of our community. But again, you detailed everything. Every park has a need, and I want to lean on shoulders of the needs for grants. We do have a lot of great electeds between our Assembly and our Senate and Congress that we do have opportunities. I know we've grabbed that before, Perk Your Park, and a lot of the things we have in Councilmember Holden, Assemblymember Holden. Now it's Assemblymember Harabidian that we had, was it $1.5 million, and we put restrooms in and a new all-inclusive playground. So this is great. It gives us a roadmap now, and we can do some little things right away, and we can plan ahead for the larger projects. I appreciate the matrix about how much it costs for lighting, how much it costs for benches. This is just a great job, and we're on the right track anyway. Now we just kind of finalize it to say what we can and can't do, and it's going to be tens of millions of dollars, but if we put it in our capital improvement projects and we move forward, it's going to get done like we have been, and I appreciate that. With that, are there no more comments? Do I have a motion to adopt the 2026 Parks and Recreation Master Plan update and find that it is exempt from environmental review under the California Environmental Quality Act, CEQA, pursuant to the CEQA Guidelines Section 15262, feasibility and planning studies? Is this a...
It's adopted. So moved.
It was, I thought, yeah. We're already ahead of him. Vote, please. Keep going.
Moss. Parks and Rec guidance.
And sorry, I was distracted. Was that motion by Crosby, and who seconded?
I'll second.
There you go. I thought it was a second already. Now vote. Okay. I knew she said it. She did.
Item
it in her
7
head.
of the
I could hear
consent
it.
of the discussion calendar. Motion by Crosby, seconded by Lau, and approved 5-0.
Thank you. Thank you, staff. Appreciate it very much. Okay, here we go. Our second discussion item is the fiscal year. You're on the wrong one. Yeah. 26-27 preliminary landscape and lighting maintenance districts number 6, 7, and 8 budget outlook. City Manager Domer, please call forward the staff member who are reporting on this.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Howling.
This is a overview of the landscape and lighting maintenance district. So Cody Howling is our city engineer, and we'll be going over this.
Good evening, Mayor, members of the City Council. Yes, it is that time of year where the everybody's favorite subject, landscape lighting maintenance districts, comes back.
Thanks, Cody. Yeah.
This
After
item,
a meal. Thanks.
We're going to do things. We haven't done an item like this in the past. Given some of the history, we figured it would be a good idea to bring this before council, review the strategy looking forward. The process that is dictated through the Landscape Lighting Act of 1972 is that a engineer's report is brought forward to the City Council for consideration and ultimately preliminary approval. Typically at that evening, that meeting, that time, a public hearing is set to then consider any community feedback at a later date, typically 30 days, although it can be as near as 10. Or if there's a 218 process, it extends out to 45 days. So, but anyways, it would still be a future public hearing and a future item that we bring to City Council. Tonight, what we wanted to do is bring to your attention the some of the background on what we've been looking at this year and some of our strategies ahead to anticipate. And of course, if there's any feedback that Council has, we'd love to receive that and continue to implement that as we move forward. Just as a brief overview of landscape lighting maintenance districts, this is a vehicle that was created with the Landscape Lighting Act of 1972 as a means for developing revenue to maintain facilities. You know, typically it's landscape and lighting. There can be ornamental features and other things that are tied to that. But typically, your maintained slopes, entryways, medians, common green space, and how we pay for those is through assessments with this item. A lot of the city has these features. We have a total of 3 districts. There's District 6, 7, and 8 that are active right now. Under District 6, we have 6 zones. So the numbering's a little funny on those, but we can get to those later. When these were originally created, the funding structure was basically if there was a cost, that would be appropriated to individual properties by a method that was determined in the engineer's report. Within the city, these districts all assign an equal share to the property owners. There is no surcharge or anything else variable. It's an equal division by the number of units. Each project or each zone is tied to a development project, and typically those improvements were constructed with developer and then handed off through the LLMD process to continue the maintenance into perpetuity. Cutting forward to a lot of the development that has occurred in the city, it predates 1997. In 1997, Prop 218 was put into effect, and while a great vehicle to protect taxpayers from increase in assessments, it also limits the ability to increase those assessments. And so with costs that are ever rising, be it contractual, utilities, so on, we are capped at that unless the particular zone, district, what have you, were created with a CPI inflator, or there was a 218 process that had gone back after that and gotten, frankly, approval by the voters. Currently within the city's districts, we have two zones within District 6 that have CPI inflators. District 6, Zone 6 was created, because that is the newest of them, with a CPI inflator. And as council may recall, about 2 years ago, we took a few of these out to a Prop 218 vote, particularly 4-1, which is the Rancho Laverne area, did approve the ballot to increase their assessment by some funds, as well as add the CPI. Notably, 4-2, which is the Esperanza area, also went to a ballot, and they rejected those increases. So what I'll do is, I got a few other highlights, and then we'll cut to just giving you a high overview of each zone and the strategy ahead. One significant notable feature for this year that's something that's been different compared to last year is the cost of particularly water. That's going to be a burden of these. A lot of these landscape lighting districts have a heavy utilization as water, as you can understand through the landscaping feature. And the water rate increases have obviously added to what was those budgets. In looking ahead to the next fiscal year, so this would be fiscal year 26-27, the water rates get kind of a 50% charge of the 35% rate, as well as a 50% charge of the 25% rate increase on top of that. The other thing that we have out there is AB 1572, which is an obligation to remove non-functional turf. There's a varying rollout deadline of that, but generally about 2030 is where a lot of those requirements are going to have to come into play for these types of districts. So we've got two things that are kind of interesting. Working with the city manager's office to develop the plan that I think hopefully solves both with similar solutions. And particularly this year, the Metropolitan Water District has opened turf removal rebate programs to government agencies. And so this year we pursued, and I'm happy to announce that this morning we received pre-approval on one of our two applications that we submitted. So that's going to be a fantastic thing, and I'll get to the details on that, but didn't want to bear the headline on that. Yes, sir.
Question.
Absolutely.
I'm sorry. I'll forget about it. If based on that money, is there a way maybe later we can discuss having a decomposed granite, utilizing some of that trail and heading Esperanza along the, because there's no way to walk north or south on the east side of that road, because people are walking in the middle of the street and trying to figure something out.
Yeah.
Is there a way we can use some of that money to build a little decomposite granite trail?
Let me
and get rid of some of the bushes and some of the stuff like that.
If you don't mind, I'll run through the districts in order of the report, and I will definitely address that question.
You can tell me no, Cody. Thank you so much.
Sorry, Cash, no. So towards the end of the report, if council would like to flip, there's a table there that kind of highlights things, and of course all the details through, but just to draw your attention to that table. That table is laid out with each of the districts and respective zones. It identifies the revenue and the expenditures, whether they have a CPI or not. As I mentioned, there's only two. And some notes to how we intend to address the continuing challenge of funding these So just running down the list, and I'll we can save the numbers or revisit the numbers, but you'll notice that the revenue is outpaced by the expenditures in every single one of these zones. Now, one thing I would like to add is these expenditures don't account for the general fund contributions, which has been covering staff time for all of these. So some of them are actually a little bit better, but they're still outpaced in when you look at that configuration. So starting from Zone 2. Zone 2, that is located on First and Fulton, the northwest corner of that intersection. It's generally a green belt, mature, decently established. There's a few newer trees there, but a lot of shrubs and trees. There are no turf areas in that. So we don't have the opportunity to really pursue a turf removal grant, but what our intent is to continue to monitor and consider reducing water usage there. Because that plant material is mature, we do expect that there will be a visual impact that comes from this, but we don't anticipate that plant material would be lost. So that, in contribution of looking at and assessing the general benefits rather than just covering staff time, looking at what that means, because it's really truly a frontage that faces the outside and public street. So that's our intent, to look forward and kind of balance the budget this fiscal year and into the future. At this point, no 218 process is required. However, of course, if council is interested, we'd be happy to look at that and kind of evaluate the process for you. Moving on to Zone 3. This is one that is of notable excitement. This is Wheeler Tabor. It's the tract development just south of the Del Taco, located on Foothill and Wheeler and north of the Weymouth plant. There is a mixture of turf, mature pine trees, shrubs. That is the one where we have recently received notice that we have a grant pre-approved for $36,000 to remove the existing turf, replace the irrigation system, and replant with California native species. With that approach, we anticipate of finding dramatic reductions to water and thereby cutting costs. And I do have to emphasize that these grants are critical to achieve this, because these are large capital costs that are just not factored into the budget and would take quite a time if we move forward to either pay out a debt or rebuild those types of funds, especially in the state that these are. Zone 4-1, as I mentioned, that is the Rancho Laverne area. We have also submitted a grant application for turf removal in this area. We have not heard back, but we're optimistic, as these were fairly closely timed in submittal. So looking forward to hopefully a positive outcome on that. And that again, the same strategy would be used to reduce that burden on the watering side to help manage costs. That is one that did get the 218 ballot increase. We did factor in the increase in the water budget at that time. However, I will say that it was not as significant as what was ultimately approved. So they're in good shape right now, and what will happen if nothing happens would basically be an impact to the deficit pay down in terms of the length of time it takes. Zone 4-2, that is the Esperanza area. We cannot do any work on the road. The area is defined when they set these, and it's really it's landscape, particularly the parkway, and then the slopes adjoining the parkway. There's the meandering sidewalk, trees, and so on. And so that's what's maintained there. As I mentioned, this is one zone that had rejected the 218 ballot. Since that time, we've lowered their service level in maintenance as well as cut water. We'll continue to do that and try to manage the budget as close as possible. They do have reserves. We did use reserves a minor amount last year to balance the budget, and we'll keep on monitoring that and trying to balance that to not overly diminish, but of course align services with the revenue driven from that.
Already complaining about the weeds. It's about 6 feet high.
Yes.
Well, hey.
So the 218 process on that subject, we can go back and redo it. Our intention is to come back in 2027 and do it again. If there's an opportunity to chase one of these turf removal grants, there is turf in that area. It's not as heavy as some of the other ones that I had mentioned. But it does, every dollar counts towards improving those cost-effective features.
If I read this right, though, on zone 4-2, is that the city is paying approximately $10,000, $11,000 over each year from the revenue to the expenditure?
Currently, that zone has a surplus.
Okay.
The surplus will not last forever, of course. So
I just wanted to make sure, because that's the one zone that's significantly over than the other zones, and would not, if they have a surplus, that's great.
Yes.
But when they voted no on it, not to raise it, I would not want to be spending that much more over any of the other zones. So, thank
Understood.
you.
Yes.
I would agree.
And with that, there's of course the general benefit consideration too. Of course, the road Esperanza is a major connector point, in that both sides of the road have the live oak. There's HOAs on both sides of the road that pay into that. So there would be a balance that might also help kind of facilitate something that could be palatable and ultimately, potentially pass a ballot measure to increase assessments. Zone 5, that's the Laverne Business District, also formerly known as the Sao Paulo. That's the commercial area north of Pudding Stone near the Brackett Airfield. The Pudding Stone medians with those large mature trees, as well as I believe there's 2 gateway entry points that those are maintained in that spot. Right now, you'll notice that expenditures, it does exceed revenue. Last year, notably, we did not assess the highest assessment because they have a surplus that we're trying to draw down. We don't want to collect more funds than necessary, but of course keep things in a financially stable state. Zone 6-6, that is the one that I mentioned, has the existing CPI and was originally created with the CPI. That's the Amherst development. It's a development north of Amherst, the 2 cul-de-sacs there, just to the north side as you enter from Fruit Street. That one, revenue and expenditures is closely aligned. They did have a minor surplus last year, and with water management, we intend to keep that one moving forward in somewhat of a similar nature. No 218 increase is required at this point, but of course it will be closely monitored. Then we have District 7 and District 8. 2 different districts, but there are a lot of similarities between these two in the sense that both really heavily focus on fuel mod, being that District 7 is the Laverne Heights community, and District 8 is the Marshall Canyon Estates community. And so with those 2 having exposure to wildland areas, fuel mod is an important feature. The city is pursuing a grant to help fortify the fuel mod funding. And so that, plus considering possible 218 process in 2027, is what we are looking at and forecasting to be a solution there. With this being honestly a little bit of a dry subject, we did do some efforts to increase community engagement. There was some, ad space, if you will, that was put into the community's rec guide. Come look at the city's website for more information. And as this process continues through this year and, of course, future years, we're always open to engaging the community and looking at different opportunities, whether community meetings or other features through social media to try to get the word out and educate folks what are these and how they are important to their neighborhoods, of course. So that concludes my report, and I'm available for any questions.
I think we'll go to public comment, Cody, and then we'll come back.
Thank you.
Open up public comment on this item. Anybody wish to speak on this? Don't all jump in here at once. I know it's exciting.
Why not?
We're going to close public comment, bring it back up to the dais. Mr. Crosby, you're looking at me. Go ahead. You want something about Esperanza too, or what?
No, I've already said my piece on that. I think it was very clear. And I understand the significant cost in Zone 7 and Zone 8, but that's more protecting property rather than enhancing beautification of property.
Correct.
So understand the difference of those zones by being there. And I do feel that the city, the zones, also enhance the city's appeal as well. So it's not only based on those residents that live there, but we still got to manage our costs and try to make sure our general fund money is not being spent on those pieces. But note that it's a city issue as well to make sure that we maintain. Laverne's a beautiful place to live, and so understand the difference. Thank you.
Councilmember Johnson.
As to the areas that aren't funded, I'm not really interested in going out to 18 question for that without some sort of assurance that they're actually going to pass it. My only take on it.
Thank you. Councilmember Lau.
I think our takeaway from the last time we had this discussion was that the communication regarding the lighting districts was not as adequate as it should have been. Because I think people, my perception is that people did not understand why there was going to be an increase. And so now you have people complaining about weeds. That was solely in their control, and they chose not to pass it because I think there was a lack of understanding. So I appreciate that there is communication starting early, but what I would like to know is how effective that communication is, because I think having it in the city recreational guide, that's great. I don't know how many people care because you're looking at a rec guide to look at what classes am I signing up for, what events are coming up. I don't know if like people will glaze over if they see, hey, here's a lighting district, issue. So if it is trying to drive traffic to the city's website, what I would like to see is what are the hits on that? So when it's going to, that link that speaks specifically to the lighting and landscape district, I'd like to know, are we actually driving traffic there? Because that may not be the most productive use of our time, especially if we're looking at potential 218 votes in 2027, 2028, which seems far but isn't. So that education process needs to be started now. So I appreciate this report coming so that we can see where things are falling. But I think because, as you said, it can be kind of a dry subject, maybe photos. Like, here's what this looks like, and here's what it looks like when it's maintained. Here's what it looks like when we have to reduce water and reduce the ability, to help because we don't have the funds for it. So I think clarifying that in a way that folks can understand and in places that more people might be willing to have those discussions versus hoping that they'll look at the rec guide and then actually go to a computer and follow the link. So whether it's at events that we're holding, do we have a booth that talks about it, that shares information about it, much like we do with other things that, we're interested in letting people know about, then I think we need to focus on that and see what we can do because some of these numbers are pretty big. And like you said, the surplus is only going to last so long. So we need to be on top of that. So if we can make sure that we're doing that, I'd appreciate it. And if there is a way to track the hits on the site, that would be appreciated as well. And if we can get it on social media in a fun way where people might actually look at it. So I'm going to, ask you to put our social media gurus on it. So.
Yes. So last time around, we did leverage social media, but I think there were some certainly lessons learned. Looking ahead to this fiscal year as we get into the budget planning process, we definitely want to continue to, expand that reach and find ways that are meaningful because it's a little hard to get people's attention in the rec guide. That's not what they're there looking for. Fully acknowledge that. But as we get through this process, through social media, letting people know when the public hearings are going to occur, even though, if there's no 218 process, regardless, again, reminding them, pictures, all that stuff that hopefully drives that interest for future years, certainly something we intend to employ this year.
Mayor Pro Tem Cash.
I think it's really good on the 218, but also it's going to spark a controversy again, and with increasing taxes, you're going to try to tax us more, give us more money. We were tired of paying, and I get that. I'd like to see if we could pursue more, especially just in that area of grants from MW. Right, that's something that I think that people are just taxed at every angle that we go through. I get social media great. There's a lot of people that are just morning walkers, and and they time me coming out of my house almost exact time, and it's always, hey, you got a minute? And I always do. You know what I mean? Even if I was late to church 15 minutes or on a Sunday, I had my wife in the car. They're like, no, you got to hear me. I was like, please, because it's going to happen. So if we could pursue that, that'd be great.
Absolutely.
Anyway, and anything I need to do, if I can go down to downtown LA Metropolitan, I know the folks there. I will knock on their door. I'll sit there and just continue to champion money for us. You just let me know. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem Cash.
You got it.
All the comments are very good. I think the most important thing is how we get out to the people to understand what they're actually voting on. And a lot of these places have associations. We need to be there, whether it be a group of 2 council members as a team, depending on the area that it's in. Because last time it just failed, and there was no reason for it to fail. It's the fact that people just didn't want to pay an additional, amount. But you've got 2 of these areas that you're at $25,000, and the other ones you're at $40,000, $50,000 over what you're doing. We really have 4 that we really need to be addressing, which is Zone 7, Zone 8, Zone 4-2, and Zone 5. And I wouldn't do a 218 process in 28
But
for one.
Zone 7 and Zone 8 are
they're fuel mod.
Fuel mod.
But,
So
but
that's a bigger difference.
Understanding though that has to we have to address that. There are other factors that may help that fuel mod. Some things that are going on right now with the county and some infestations. But at the end of the day, it's a matter if we're going to do this. Let's understand the process. Let's get us all involved. We did a okay job, but not enough to push it over the edge because we had one do and one not. And it's like, and that particular area is extremely important. They've got large grass areas. It's a very expensive part of Laverne. Not that all of Laverne isn't expensive, but it's what it looks like. It makes our values. And at the end of the day, you want brown lawn, you want dirt, you want gravel? No, I don't think so. So at the end of the day, it's all about how we present it, how they understand what they're going to be paying for. So, so that would be my suggestion. I mean, we need to start now because 2027 is. We're already into March. April's going to be here, and it's like, my goodness, it flies. So whatever we can do to start engaging, let's do it now, and start with the meetings with the associations, and how we have to do with our fire department, with the fuel modifications, with our landscape maintenance. So with that, where am I here? Is this a receive and file? I think it's receive and file. Receive and file, just 1 second. With that, no other questions for staff? Is there a motion to receive and file the update on the landscape lighting maintenance district? Do we need what do you don't need a verbal. What do you need? Receive and file. Okay. There's no voting, so we received and filed it. Thank you, Cody. Appreciate that.
You're the best, Cody.
And I really like the comment about this is really a dry subject. That's pretty good. Pretty good. The man's got a sense of humor. There's no other business tonight, so we move on to public comments. This is the time set aside for anyone wishing to address the City Council on items not listed on the agenda, but within the subject matter jurisdiction of the City Council. The Brown Act prohibits the City Council from engaging in discussion on any item not on the posted agenda. Your concerns may be referred to staff or placed for discussion at a later date. At this time, those wishing to speak can come to the podium. Please state your name for the record before speaking. Please come forward.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor and City Council. Firstly, I would like to apologize. This should have been during the public announcements section, but
You waited that long.
I didn't wait. I just got confused, and I'm new
I'm
and
sorry.
I'm learning. No, don't be sorry. I'm
My
sorry.
fault for probably not explaining it better. There you go.
No, I'm just sometimes I buffer. Council member Lau knows that. Sometimes I just buffer and then. But I'm here. But let me introduce myself. My name is Rebecca Hong. I'm actually a resident of San Dimas for about 30 years. I'm an alumna of Bonita Unified School District, but I went to University of Laverne, just graduated last year from the College of Law. And right now thank you. And right now I'm the corresponding secretary for Cassie. So on behalf of Cassie, I'm here tonight, and I would like to make 3 announcements. Our first announcement is that we have open house at Roynan Elementary this Thursday at 5 p.m. We're going to bring a world map, and children and their families, students and their families, are more than welcome to engage. What are your cultural origins, your ethnicities, and just engage in conversation with them, just for them to learn more about themselves, about their culture. because it's officially open house season at Bonita Unified. The second announcement is that, as you know, Laverne has many little free libraries. I know there are a lot that are unregistered, so I think we have about close to 40. So yes. So Cassie, we do distribution events. So we have our March one this Sunday, the 22nd at 12 p.m. We're going to meet at the Church of the Brethren parking lot. This month's theme, we have 3 themes. Firstly, Women's History Month, Social Work Month, because I have a past social work experience, so I just threw that in there. And then thirdly, neurodivergence, because it's Neurodivergence Week, this week actually. And our third, it's also on behalf of the Imagination Library. That's part of the Dolly Parton Foundation. So they bring books to those who are in need, they provide it, and there's a fundraiser at the Applebee's in San Dimas, right next door. And so the fundraising tickets are $12. It is on Saturday, March 28th, starting from 8 through 10 a.m. And if you want to purchase tickets, you can contact Laverne Daily News. I know, right there. But those are all those are all the announcements I have. But thank you so much for accommodating me with my buffering.
Thank you very much.
Yes,
we appreciate it. Thank you. Any other public comments? Bless you. With that, we'll close the public comments. Bring it up to the dais. Councilmember Lau.
Sure. So a couple of things, just briefly. Tri-City is having their meeting this Wednesday at 5 p.m. for anyone who is interested in attending. It is at the location on Gary, but you can also observe or participate via Zoom. You just need to go to the website and find that. But I did want to share, for those of you that may not know, Tri-City annually gives out a community well-being grant, actually a few of them. I believe the city has been a recipient in the past. The YFAC has been a recipient. But it is a grant of up to $25,000 to fund projects that enhance the mental and emotional well-being of organization members. So there's criteria, who can apply, the application, there's when the RFP will be issued, there's Q&A sessions, et cetera, et cetera. It's all on the Tri-City website. And I say that because I know Bonita Unified has obtained grants through there in the past. Other community organizations from the cities of Pomona and Claremont as well, since Tri-City services the two of them and us. But it's an opportunity for organizations to be able to fund initiatives that they think would be beneficial to their communities. So take a look. There's always some really good things that come about from that. So I highly recommend, if you know an organization in one of these cities, particularly ours, that may be interested in receiving a grant. The due date is noon on April 13th, so there's a little bit of time to get stuff together. So please take a look. Additionally, we are still searching for mental health commissioners. I believe we have 2 or 3 openings right now in the Mental Health Commission. Applications are being sought until March 31st, and there are representatives on the Health Commission from, again, the cities of Laverne, Pomona, and Claremont, and I would like to make sure that Laverne is adequately represented. So if you or someone you know would be interested in serving on this commission, the application is available on the website as well. So please take a look, spread the word. That would be appreciated. So with that, that's all for me. Have a great week.
Thank you, Councilmember Lau. Councilmember Crosby.
Thank you. On Saturday night, I had the honor and privilege to represent Laverne at the 90th, celebrating 90 years for Casa Colina. A tribute to courage was the theme. They started in 1936, opened as to help out for polio patients. But their traumatic brain injury work was exceptional, what they're doing there right now. They even had a robotic exoskeleton to help a paraplegic person walk, was across the stage as well. So very inspiring, the great work they do right here in our backyard. Casa Colina is just amazing. And then on my drive home, I want to thank Chief Gonzalez.
Pull you over?
on White and Arrow, we had our DUI checkpoint, and the officers were amazing. And to get the people through, and really appreciate the kindness that they showed everybody going through there too. So,
you pull over.
This next week, Chief Courtney and I will be going to Foothill Terrace, and where he's going to be introduced as the new fire chief to Woodhill Terrace, and we're glad to be visiting with him there, to our residents there. And the second to last thing is, Mr. Domer, I would like you to look in. I've been seeing a lot of mobile food vendors in our streets. I want to help try to protect our own businesses and restaurants that we have in our city, and really look at where we allow to have mobile vendors. I know they have to have a permit and they have to have license and things like that, but is there a way we can limit where they go so it's not hurting our other businesses, and they're not, sometimes they're next to schools and we don't know what's happening there as well. And so just making sure, updating our policies about having mobile vendors in our city. And then the last and most important thing, happy birthday to Patty Hutt.
Oh, yes.
Patty.
Thank you, Rick. That was very nice. Councilmember Johnson.
And tomorrow is St. Patrick's Day.
That's right.
Yes.
Which is my anniversary. Lori.
Oh.
How many years? How many years?
That's an easy one.
We were married in 1984. Do the math.
Do the math.
Safe.
So I wish my wife a happy anniversary as well.
Good man. Good man. Mayor Pro Tem Cash.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you all. Your monthly mosquito bites information. This month, we had the opportunity for State Senator Susan Rubio, who presented the district with a $500,000 check in funding to support the district's vital work in responding to the aftermath of the Eaton fire. So I really want to thank her for that. And furthermore, we have preparations underway for the spring swimming pool condition confirmation effort, right? Which is designed to identify and address neglected swimming pools. So if you happen to see any and you need some further information with something we can service, please let me know so I can get the team out there to see what we can do better. And again, with unusually high season, we only have like 2 days of winter. That was like 2-3 days of winter of just rain, and that's it. You know, if you look at the mountain high, the snow is even melting. So it's getting kind of hot out there. This is going to be one of those seasons. It's going to be really hot, and it's going to have a lot of mosquitoes. So a lot of great things this weekend. I'll leave it up to the mayor to talk about that. We did have lots of fun. Saw the first pitch this weekend, and Chief did a great job. Oh, yeah.
No, actually,
The
Chief
police
threw a better pitch. Let's be honest.
Which one? Which chief?
Deputy Fire Chief Sam Dominic.
He was
threw
tall.
to the right. The Chief was dead on.
Dead on,
Chief
man.
Sam Gonzalez was dead
I
on.
saw that pitch, Chief.
Yeah. Sorry. Just the way it is.
Good job, Marine. Drive on. All right. Thank you, Mayor. That's all I have.
Okay, very busy weekend here. We had opening day Little League, which was absolutely fantastic. Mayor Pro Tem Cash and I were there. I know everybody else had other functions to do, but again, Chief Sam Gonzalez was there with Captain Tibbetts, also PC Robert Russell, and also Deputy Fire Chief Sam Dominic, and yes, Chief Gonzalez did outthrow Sam, but it was a great day with families. It was amazing just to see. Also, Yvonne Duran was there, our Parks and Recreation Director. We had people from Public Works. The fields look great. The snack bar is amazing. The roof was replaced, all the equipment. So, and kudos to Travis, who is the outgoing president, was nothing but kudos to the city staff, our city manager, and all the departments for making it. And Director Wu, thank you very much. It looks great. It really looks great. And families, there was 500 people there at least, probably. But that was a great opening day. Then we scooted on over to the Spring Squeeze Fair, which is the 5th annual up at Heritage Park. There were over 40 vendors, food for purchase, tractor rides, the Weber House, tours the Weber House. Also, the Heritage Foundation had their barn. Mayor Pro Tem Cash and I, and also Parks and Recreation, Yvonne Duran were there. Some great pictures. Families were just getting there, so I'm sure it was a successful day because we had our next one we went to was the Woman of the Year Award put on by Senator Susan Rubio over in Covina at one of the theaters that Susan Rubio was able to get money to the city to purchase that theater. But we had two of our own Chief Sam Gonzalez was there, Captain Tibbetts, Holly, our city manager Ken Domer, Cash and myself, and it was Adriana Retu and also Marlene Carney, and they were just incredible. We got to see the families and Susan Rubio. There was 8 other people, women of distinction, that were there, and it was just a lot of fun day. So with that, I think the most important thing is it's hot. It's going to get hotter. Be prepared. Make sure that your animals have plenty of water. Make sure your house is at 77 degrees. Make sure that your pool is full, and make sure that you don't exercise at 12 o'clock in the afternoon, and make sure you hydrate. With that, sunscreen. Just be careful. It's going to get hot. And remember, clear everything away from your house. Make sure you got emergency plans in case of a fire. Make sure you got your emergency exit plans. Make sure smoke detectors are working. Make sure that everything's clear around your house. Make sure debris and everything else is good. Have an emergency. Have your emergency stuff ready to go in your car in case we do have a fire. Anywhere in Laverne is possible to have a fire, so the hills are getting brown again. Our next regular scheduled meeting with City Council is scheduled for Monday, April 6, 2026. Closed study session will start at 5:30. Regular meeting will start at 6:30 p.m. As a reminder, upcoming events and meetings are posted on the last page of the city agenda. Thank you all for being here. We are adjourned at 8:40 p.m. on Monday, March 8, 16. Thank you all.